Good evening. The program will start with Vedic chanting by Pritili Modak.
Om Namah Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyava Utotaishave Namaha. Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha. Yadaishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanuhu. Shiva Sharavya Tavataya No Rudramedhaya. Yate Rudra Shiva Tanura Ghoda Papakashini. Taya Nastanuvashantamaya Girishanta Vichakashihi. Yami Shungirishantahaste हस्ते बिभर्ष्यस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरुमाहि पुंसि पुरुषं जगता शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावयामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगत यक्ष्मपुं सुमना असत अध्यवोचदधिभक्ता प्रथमोदयेभ्यो विशका अहिगुश्च सर्वा जम्भयन् सर्वा आश्रयातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुस्सु मङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेल ईमहे असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनौ विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मिलयादिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मेरुषे अथो ये अस्य सक्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोराग्नियोर्ज्यां यास्तु ते हस्तैषवः पराता भगवो पपा अवदत्य धनुस्त्वपुं सहस्राक्षशते शुधे निशीलशल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विर्यन्धनुक्कपर्दिनो विशल्यो वानवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्यैषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हेतिर्मे धृष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्तमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नाचताय दृष्टवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् पृनक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निधेहितं नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Thank you, Pritili. Good evening. It's indeed a solemn occasion. We are all joining here today because we have lost someone very special. Respected Professor Jaysankar Shah, a recipient of first trip twice, an erudite scholar, touched each of our lives in unique ways. Today, we will hear from several academicians, faculty members, and distinguished audience who will share their memories and reflection. Before starting the memorial service, we will observe 1 minute quiet reflection to pay our fondest tribute to Professor Shaw, an advisory board member of Modak Academy, whose encouragement and guidance paves the way to our journey. Thank you all. Please put on the timer. Now I will invite noted Rabindra Sangeet artist Dr. Shruti Naha to pay tribute to Professor Shah by her voice rendition.
নমস্কার সকলকে।
Just a
আজ
minute,
আমরা
madam. Just a minute.
শুরু করব। আমি শুরু করছি। আজ আমরা যার স্মরণে এখানে মিলিত হয়েছি, আমি কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাই মোদক ট্রেনার একাডেমির কাছে। এত গুণী মানুষ যার সংস্পর্শে আমরা আসতে পেরেছি, তার স্মরণে আজ আমি একটি গান গাইছি। সকলকে নমস্কার। রবে এ সংশয়ে সন্তাপে শোকে পরবাসে এ পরবাসে রবে কে হায়, এ পরবাসে রবে কে হায়, এ পরবাসে রবে কে, এ পরবাসে রবে কে হায়, এ পরবাসে রবে কে। হে থাকে রাখিবে, 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 হে থাকে রাখিবে, দুঃখ হে তেমন আপন কেহ না এ প্রাণ করে হায় রে এ পরবাসে রবে কি
Thank you, Ms. Shruti. Now we will take some glimpses of Professor Jaysankar Lal Shah's lecture. Yes.
Okay, good. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to Modak Academy, especially Ganesh Modak, who has set up this academy, and Dr. Gargi De, as well as Ritu Porna Ghosh and Modak's daughter, Pritili. They have done a great job, unthinkable job. Pritili Modak. And I cannot believe how she can remember Vedic chanting. And not only so, in the past, she has recited Bhagavad Gita also. So infinite thanks to all of you for organizing this talk. You are carrying the banner of our culture. And today's topic is the nature of human beings, East and West. It is a big topic, and I will start with some of the features of
So he was our guiding force. So we just pay tribute each and every moment to Professor Shah. Now I will invite Professor Shreekala Nair, Professor Sri Shankaracharya University, Kaladi, Kerala. Please, madam.
Just a minute.
Can I
Just
speak?
Okay, now continue.
Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Good evening to all. At the very start, let me thank the Modak Academy for giving me this opportunity to remember a paternal-like figure for me, Professor Jail Shah. When Manju, wife of late Professor Anand Vaidya, told me, in fact, she has put it in the group, that Professor Shaw's no more, it was really shocking for me because he called me roughly, a couple of weeks before, twice, and I was also in the hospital, sitting with my daughter, and he was inquiring about her well-being, and we did talk about on various aspects. So it was really shocking for me to hear that he is no more. Of course, I knew that he is ailing, but never thought that he would leave us so soon. And I wrote in several groups that the lament, and it is habitual for us to have obituaries, and since university is closed for Onam vacation, I couldn't even organize an obituary meeting. And here came an opportunity to remember Jayal Shah along with other colleagues of mine. Thank you so much for this opportunity. As I have said, when I heard the demise of Professor Shah, it was shocking, and I felt often because, for senior people like us, there are very few people whom we look up to, Guru Sthaniyaha, as we say. And there are very few people who could correct us, tell us what we are doing good or where we fail. And Professor Shah was one who used to guide me, show me the right path. My acquaintance with Professor Shah is not very old, barely 7 years. But as you know, that we need to assess the relationship not in terms of duration, but rather on intensity. So in terms of intensity, our relation was pretty strong and deep as well. And I always think that when two philosophers meet, what is unique about it is that there should be productivity. If a productivity takes place, if fresh ideas are generated when two minds meet, then that is the wonderful thing. And when there is fresh ideas that emerge in philosophy, human civilization is taken ahead, and good things happen for the whole of the humanity. And our meeting has always been like that. I have met him, in fact, physically very few times, I'll tell you. In fact, I first heard him years before in one of the seminars in Jaipur, where again he was making his presentation online. But I did meet him physically in Calcutta in one of the conferences where I think I was presenting a paper on argumentation, particularly drawing a comparison between Goldman and Vedanta Deshika. I was referring to the text Nyaya Parishuddhi. And after my presentation, Professor Shah came to me and he said, "Oh, your Sanskrit is very strong." And soon after the conference, three of us, myself, Professor Anand Vaidya and Professor Shah, we sat together and he talked a lot. In fact, I was listening. Vaidya also was listening. He was talking continuously about his new books, his new papers. And I still remember he was trying to give me a lot of his fresh writings. And he said, "You need to read these and then comment on that." Of course, which I could not do, in Indian state universities. It's very pathetic because, we will have to really take the students up to the demands of philosophy, in some way make them adhikarins first and then teach them. I was busy doing all that routine jobs and the family. I could not do justice to his call. But he was not annoyed. He is forgiven. But still he did not leave me. And subsequently, there was a workshop that he organized in New Zealand. He's invited me for that. And he's persistent. He said, Shreekala, I'm trying to give a lot of my notes unpublished to you people. You should take it ahead. But, the temperature there in New Zealand, particularly when he said that you'll have to carry hot bags and all that, I was a little afraid. And ICPA was also a bit slow in granting me the travel grant, though they did grant me, it was a bit late. Then I could not, make bits and pieces together. So I cancelled it. Again, he might have been annoyed with me, but he did not show nothing. But he never left the friendship. And had I been in his place, I would have got annoyed. But he did not. And very often, as many of you might know, that I'm known among the philosophy circle more as an organizer, a facilitator. I always tell Professor Anand as well as to Professor Jaysankar that you should consider me as a cook. Someone has to cook so that everyone can eat. So I'm supposed to be a cook, a facilitator, providing platform for several philosophers to come and sit together and create ideas. So he was very happy that I'm organizing several conferences, particularly the Samvada that has happened last June. And just as we heard, he used to address me, you, the dedicated soul, you are doing a lot for Indian culture and tradition, and I'm extremely happy about that. This is how he would write. And that was a great booster to me. And when I realized that this booster will not come, anybody can say that. But when Professor Shaw says that, it means a lot. And as I have said, he was indeed a paternal figure who could tell me how to put things together, where I should focus on. And during, probably that was the last series of lectures that he gave with Subhashish Chakraborty organizing, where he spoke on the Vinyaya. And I think he has asked Dr. Chakraborty to invite me. So I got an invite. And then onwards, I was in the hospital, but still I used to attend the lectures. And again, with regard to the public lectures, he had delivered a lecture for my institution, and probably that might have been one of the last public lectures that he has ever delivered. I remember it was in June, where he delivered a felicitation address for the annual conference of Global Forum for Young Philosophers, the youth wing of the International School for Sri Shankaracharya Studies, which I lead. And he sent me the full paper. And I still remember, I was almost in tears when he spoke. And then I snatched the mic from the organizer and I spoke immediately, responding to what he has said. It's so vivid in my memory. And he, quite like me, like a group of us, Anand, Professor Shaw, and myself, what is common among all of us is that we were interested in mentoring the youth, the young professionals in philosophy. And Professor Shaw was greatly appreciative of that. Late Professor Anand Vaidya also had dreams of raising an institution to mentor the young. And together, myself and Anand, we thought we should raise an institution. And though Professor Shaw never shared any such dream with me, but he was also of the opinion that we need to pay a lot of attention to the young professionals in philosophy, because we are handing over the baton to them and the flag of our culture. And he always was worried that Indian philosophy, which has been placed within the culture, has to be understood pretty well. A superficial understanding of Indian philosophy will not fetch much. And therefore, he was also insistent about training the young on the cultural rootedness of Indian philosophy. And probably that is probably that might have been the reason why he was appreciative of my efforts to organize or revive the Samvada tradition, the argumentative tradition, as well as to take the young back to the original text, the monthly textual reading sessions, and so on. The last time we talked, where I think in July, he called me twice. As I've told you, I was in the hospital. So he called me and he asked about the well-being of my daughter. And then we spoke for a long time. And then he said, Shreekala, you should publish the full paper that I have given for the felicitation address. And then he also has given me certain directions as to how I should go about publishing it. And the work is in progress. And probably that is one of the last publications of him that might come about. He has left a gap, and a gap that cannot be filled by anyone. And he has handed over the baton to us, and the huge contribution that he has done in comparative philosophy, which is all brought out in the beautiful volume edited by Professor Billy. I wish he was with us for this evening. And I still remember reading Anand Vaidya's paper on, it was on cross-cultural studies, where he has brought in a contribution of Professor Shaw, where Shaw was trying to respond to the Gettier problem by pointing out how Nyaya would respond to the Gettier problem. And Ananda has also brought in a Chinese response to the Gettier problem. And Anand was very vehemently arguing about the European as well as the Anglo-Saxon negligence towards the other cultures. The fact remains that whenever we talk about the cross-cultural studies, Indians are always enthusiastic to juxtapose our thought to the problems that has been raised by the Europe, but there is no initiation that is coming up from their side. All leading philosophers were worried about that. But what I've learned from Jail Shaw was that he was of the opinion, may I stand corrected if I'm wrong, because there might be people who know him better than me. But to my understanding, Jail Shaw, though he did make a lot of comparative studies, he was of the opinion that Indian philosophy has engage itself more and more in its own philosophy. And if we are strong and if we are convinced that we are doing good philosophy, then it is not a far future that the whole globe will look towards India. Recently, in my institution, there was a lecture delivered by Sonam Kashru, where he was trying to bring in a counterfactual instance of an Oxford professor being, just imagine that an Oxford professor is being invited to the Nalanda-like Buddhist university now in Bangladesh, and also presume that it has been flourishing. And all the scholars there, the Buddhist monks, the scholars, would insist that the Oxford professor will have to speak like Chakraborty, otherwise we do not understand, or we refuse to understand unless the Oxford professor speak in those very terms in which they are used to, how Chakraborty would argue about. And this counterfactual instance is an eye-opener. And times are not far when the whole globe will look towards India and to search for the Indian insights on various aspects. We used to discuss a lot about that. So, my friends, what I would like to tell you all is that Jail Shah has handed over the baton to us. Weak as we are. Our hands are much more weak than that of Shah, but still we'll have to hold the baton and take the flag of Indian culture and philosophy ahead. And this seems to be the only way that we can tribute him. If there is a longer life that I will have, then I will have to live and fulfill the dreams of my friends of both Anand as well as Professor Shaw to serve philosophy and groom the young professionals in philosophy. Once again, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. My pranams to the memories of the departed soul. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Nair, for academic pursuit, how all of you were well connected with each other. We come to know. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now, I will invite Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, Utkal University, Bhubaneswar.
Thank you, madam. My respectful homage to the departed soul at the very beginning. Before I came over to Utkal University, I was attending the sessions of Indian Philosophical Congress. I met Professor J.L. Shah in one of its sessions. First, at what place I do not exactly remember, but then our friendship is very old indeed. Him for papers that he had presented, and he was very glad to send them by post to me. We exchanged our ideas. I was working in the area of Indian philosophy, Indian philosophical problems in the analytical perspective, and he was also working in that field. So we exchanged our ideas, and he at one time invited me to attend one of the conferences that he has arranged at New Zealand. I submitted a paper, and the abstract of that paper was published by him. But I did not find any financial sponsorship, therefore I could not make it to New Zealand. So I miss a very good old friend of mine, and philosophy has lost an illustrious votary. Professor Shreekala Nair has just now spoke profusely and very rightly about the contributions of Professor J.L. Shah to the study of Indian philosophical problems with the original texts. He has been able to show to the world the strength and resilience of India's philosophical reflections. I am very sorry to know that he is no more with us, and my respectful homage to Professor J.L. Shah once more. Thank you for asking me to say my homage. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Das. Thank you. Now, I will request Professor Neeti Singh to share her experience. Madam, please.
Am I audible?
Just a minute, let me set.
Professor Neeti Singh is
Just
from
a minute,
Benares
madam.
Hindi University, Varanasi.
Okay, start now.
Yeah. Namaste to all. I'm Neeti Singh, Assistant Professor in the Department of Philosophy and Religion, BHU Varanasi. Thank you, Dr. Gargi ji, for giving me this opportunity to share a few words here with you all. Actually, it is very difficult for me to speak today because I was in constant contact with him, his wife, and his daughter, Natalie D. And I was amongst a first few who received the news of his demise. So the pain he was going through in his last few days was hard to see. And somewhere I was praying to God to free him from his suffering. And his family took a really great care of him when he needed the most in his last days. But to talk about Sir is actually to speak about someone who was so dedicated to the philosophy, teachings, and he has given his entire life to serve this subject. And I attended his lectures with Subhash sir and many others online. And some of his recorded lectures are uploaded on my YouTube channel as well. So I would like to share some of my personal as well as professional relationship with him. Because when I went to New Zealand, I saw not only a philosopher, but a highly loved and respected, gentle old man who was actually younger than the youth in terms of zeal, enthusiasm, hard work, and independence. Because, like, in the shape I saw him, I was really shocked. And he welcomed us because I was there, and along with me, some four participants were there from India. So he welcomed us as his own children. He made sure that we were comfortable, we were cared for, and we were respected. We were given due love by his family, his friends, and because of him, I would say we were received with warmth by everyone around in the High Commission of India, by people there. So through him, we felt what philosophy looks like. And when it becomes life, what it can do. So I cannot forget my arrival there at his home for the very first time. As soon as I reached there, Auntie Ji's khichdi and their big hug, Sir's long drive, and they're arranging the stuffs for our stay and taking classes in chilled winter days in New Zealand. That was very touching to me, very emotional for me. And he did not just teach philosophy, he made us aware of who we are, our culture, our values, our philosophy. He showed us that Indian philosophy is not old or outdated, but it is still alive. It is still vibrant and it is capable of giving answers to the world today. So he had the courage to stand for it. And everywhere he went, he showed what Indian philosophy is, and he worked in the domain of comparative philosophy. He answered to the Western world that we have the capabilities to resolve philosophical problems. So that was his courage. And I still remember how he begged for funds to organize workshops. Going door to door, writing letters, sending mails, calling people. And because for him, spreading knowledge was more important than his own comfort or anything. So he gave everything freely, his time, his books, his wisdom, everything, whatever he had. He tried to give us every drop of it. So he would organize free sessions. He sit with us, talk with us, and he used to listen patiently and answer even the smallest of questions. Even the most stupid question also was welcomed by him. So no ego, no pride, only the joy of giving. He was such a person. And from him, I learned how to live our life with dedication, how to study with discipline, how to be happy with little, and how to build relationships with people where there is love and sincerity. So for me, he was Unayite, and in his intellect, he was Vedantin as well. By heart, he was Vedantin. So his family, Chipranti, Natalie Didi, and his granddaughter Maya, they all opened their arms to us. And because of him, we found a home in faraway land. So his values lived in his family, they live in us, and they believed that how they can serve the Indian community wherever they go. And he used to call us dedicated souls. Every time he texts us, he used to mention this dedicated souls. And those words still give me strength. He was not only my teacher, he was a father figure, and his life was simply a message to all of us that how we can live simply, we can love everyone, and how we can dedicate ourselves to the service of knowledge. So, as he never stopped teaching, even in pain, even in illness, his last class, just days before he passed, was actually a gift of love to his students. So, Sir was literally a father to me. He used to call me Manas Kanya, his spiritual daughter. And that was not just a phrase, he truly treated me like one. And whenever he used to call me or called him, we talked for hours. Philosophy, Nyaya, Vedanta, and sometimes the Indian education system, India's GDP, economy, everything. He worried about India. His heart never left this land. So he always cared for Indian students. He wanted them to study well, live with dignity, and find happiness in life. And I remember when he came to pick me up at Wellington Airport, and I saw him driving more than the 100 speed on the mountain roads. I was shocked. What a spirited person he was. Like, very independent till his last days. Those who know him very well, that how courageous he was, how strong he was, how independent he was. And he taught us 2 months in Wellington so passionately. And I'll never forget that experience I have had during my Wellington journey. And then again, during my stay in mission in Kolkata in January 2024, he was really caring and loving because I was a bit sick. So he took me to a medical store at night for medicine, that too by walking a kilometer distance, you can say. And such was his care, such was his affection, that he really cared for us. Not just me, but he treated, I think, everyone, whosoever he met, he treated everyone like his own. So he organized again the 8-day workshop at Mission in 2024 January. And I was fortunate enough to attend that workshop along with my 4 research scholars. So we had really good time with him, his wife Shipranti also. And one fact I would like to mention here, as he is gone, but one fact about him is that he has never shown anger towards anyone in his entire life. Nobody is there who can say that Professor Shaw was angry with me. So this was a fact. His family, his friends, everybody, they claimed it, that he never shown anger. And he often told me that the day I cannot teach and study, I'll die. And on 24th of August, he cancelled his class, and with pain he told me, and certainly he would have texted many others, that he was unwell. And I knew those words carried some weight, and he always asked me to come again. And many others, he used to call them to Wellington. He wanted all of us to go there to visit, to study with him, to stay with him. And my last hug with him was at Kolkata. We both cried. So I was his Manas Kanya, he was my Manas Pita, and we really hugged each other, we cried, and we both felt that it is going to be the last time. My heart knew, he knew, and definitely it was. So I can't say much, but I'll just say that we are going to miss him. Everybody's going to miss him. And his work, his voice, his vision, his lectures, everything will continue to guide us, because he used to call us one in a million. I call him one in a billion, for sure. So he's not gone. He lives in my thought, in my work, and in my prayers. So I pay my respect to him, my tribute to him. May his soul rest in peace. And thank you, Gargi ji, for letting me share some of my experiences. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Om Shanti.
Thank you, madam, for sharing your very heart-touching personal experience. Thank you. Now, I will request our advisory board member, Professor Manotosh Dasgupta. Please, sir. Sir, is it possible to put your phone in landscape mode? Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Dear members of the audience who are grieved profoundly at the demise of an intellectual giant, a professor of great repute, and as for myself, a very dear and near friend of mine, Professor Jaysankar. Actually, I did know him for and through 2 decades. But I and Professor Shaw, we are quite contemporary. He is just senior to me just by 1 year. Just by 1 year. And so he made his BA 1 year before me. He made his MA just 1 year before me. And at the same year, in 1969, he earned his PhD degree from Rice University. When in 1969, I also had my PhD degree from Calcutta University. But I knew him first in 2005 when I was Dean of Science in Netaji Subhash Open University. We had contemplated to publish an international journal titled Muktoye. He happened to be in Kolkata then. I asked him to submit a paper for that journal. He said, well, I may give a journal, I may a paper, but it will be a new and novel thing. Now, what's that? I like to press on some few words used in philosophy and would try to elucidate its grammatical implication and philosophical importance. I said, that means philosophical philology. He laughed aloud and said, but I fear, won't you give the paper back? I said, do you think that Professor Shaw's paper can be returned? He again laughed aloud and said, but editor has every right to accept it or refuse it. Thus began our first encounter. And this was retained from both sides till we met him last in Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture when he came a few years back. And at every time we met, he used to deliberate on number of things of common interest, philosophical interest, scientific interest, interest in literature, so on and so forth. And in every sitting, actually, he would have been the speaker, and my role was just to excite him. And for hours, we did deliberate. He was such a pleasing, he had such a pleasing personality and an attractive personality that who once had the chance to know him cannot turn his back from him. He was an erudite scholar, but a very unassuming person, and had an air that he was just a common man. When he used to speak with youngsters, especially at institute, he would have been at their level. At that time, actually, I found that these youngsters are speaking a lot, and he was just a listener and adding few words in between conversation. But when he had a dialogue with us, actually he would a continuous speaker, and he used so many similes, so many metaphors, so that his philosophical deliberation would have been very much lively, enthusiastic. We have lost him. He knew a number of languages. He was well versed in Hindi, English, Bengali, no doubt. In German, he earned a number of laurels from different parts of the world. He earned endowment funds for instituting different types of academic sets up in different universities at many places of the university, of the world. And thus, he was not only a great professor or great thinker or great teacher, he was a great organizer too. In his death, I actually feel a personal loss, which is irreparable. I know he has got a large number of students at different places of the university of this world. He has got a large number of friends in different parts of the world. They will also feel a personal loss like me. But there is no end to anything in this universe. Our Gurudev Rabindra has said, "Ogo mrityu tumi jodi hote shunnamoy, O death, had you been a void, সম্পূর্ণ নিখিল তবে হয়ে যেত লয়, the world would have come to a dead stop." তুমি পরিপূর্ণ রূপ তব বক্ষে কোলে, you are full and complete in your bosom and lap, জীবন জগৎ শিশুর মতো নিত্যকাল দোলে, world swings like a babe. Death cannot wipe up great things on this earth. Rather, as John Milton has said, death is the golden key that opens the palace of eternity. I think, nay, I do believe that Professor Shaw is now no more in body, in person, but in works, in his books, in his papers, which will help philosophers in the newer generations to come. He will live in these things. He will never be forgotten. Let us hope so. It may be so that newer beliefs will come, newer knowledge will come. The older knowledge may lag behind, but still, as history says, at every point of time, at every bend of history, important things has got importance and will maintain its importance. And in this way, Professor Shaw will be, he was, he had been, he is, and he will be in future also. So long as philosophy will live, so long Western and Eastern philosophy, he actually endeavored to bridge up this Western and Eastern philosophy in a newer way, and that pondering on this philosophical philology, he devised a new way to bridge up this Western and Eastern philosophy, and therefore in the East and West he will be remembered. Gurudev Rabindra once said that তোমরা তুলিবে বলে সকাল বিকাল নব নব সঙ্গীতের কুসুম ফুটাই, হাসি মুখে নিয়ে ফুল তারপর হায় ফেলে দিও সেই ফুল যদি তা শুকায়. That is, he believed that the flowers of achievement will wither up one day. Let the flowers of achievement of my friend Dr. Jaysankar Shaw live and linger for years to come, for ages to come, for decades to come, for centuries to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful sharing on your personal behalf. Now, I will request Dr. Papia Mitra for sharing her personal experience.
Thank you, everyone, for organizing this memorial for Professor Shaw and contacting me, allowing me to speak about him. Now, I met him in one of the seminars in Kolkata. He was very erudite, very knowledgeable about philosophy. And I was also interested and talked to him, and then he suggested that I should go to New Zealand in order to pursue higher studies in Indian philosophy and what is nowadays called Indian knowledge system. And it was a very attractive offer. And you know that he was always trying to get people to study more Indian philosophy and to spread it to the rest of the world. So I ultimately went to New Zealand and stayed there a year. I stayed in a hostel, but Professor Shaw's house was practically a second house to me. We'd often go there, we'd mingle with other students, have fun. And in the one university building itself, when the classes are going on, we would share lunches. He would always bring an apple because it is healthy. And I'll confess, I don't much like eating an apple, but he is gravely offering it to me every day to make me healthy. So what can I do? And so on it went for a whole year. But it was a very beautiful friendship, and I learned such a lot. And above all, I was so impressed by his passion. He loved philosophy. He loved discussing it. In particularly, he liked, devoted to Indian philosophy before it was so fashionable. He struggled tirelessly in order to hold seminars, to make people interested, to attract students, and just in order to spread Indian philosophy. And it was one of the best periods of my life. And then after I came back, we kept in touch. He would come to Kolkata and there would be seminars to attend. He would have published a new book or paper and we would discuss that. But then his health became worse and worse and he finally could not come. And I sent once an email message and he was very happy. I said, phone me when you have the time. But unfortunately, when I could not make the time, because someone he was there. I mean, you don't suddenly expect such a towering personality to suddenly go away. But I know he was not well, but whenever he came here, he was so energetic, so full of enthusiasm that we are going to do this, we are going to do that. And he sounded the same on the phone, even overseas. And then suddenly, yes, last month he did not respond. And then suddenly I got this news. It is very shocking that he is just not there, that we cannot anymore ask him any questions, that he will not be able to answer anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mitra. Professor Mitra is a professor from Surendranath College, Girls. Thank you. Now, I will request Professor Srimati Rai, Lady Pregon College, Kolkata.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening and hello, everyone. I'm
Is it
here
possible to switch on your video?
It's nothing impossible. It's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I'm here to commemorate the demise of our respected Sir Professor Jail Shaw. Uh, my heartfelt condolences to his family members and friends. Thanks to Modak Academy for conducting this obituary meeting and asking me to express my heartfelt regards to my beloved Sir Professor Shaw. With me, I was actually accustomed with Sir in different aspects. I met him first sometimes in 2000. And the year my daughter was born, 2001, we could arrange a seminar in Kolkata. I was then posted in Presidency College, Presidency University, Australian Presidency College. And I had an excellent batch of students brigade. My students were also very dedicated. They could feel the spirit of Professor Shaw, and together we could arrange something which Sir wanted, a good seminar in Mahabodhi Society Hall. And that was the first step taken to have an international forum for comparative studies, Indian and Western philosophy, mainly based in New Zealand. There are different active members are also there, in Calcutta, in Kolkata. That was time I was in Presidency College. Since then, it's a long time. We had conversation in regular intervals, and the time, each and every time he used to come in Kolkata, we shared our ideas. We had opportunity to listen lectures from Sir. Sir was an erudite scholar, a good orator, everybody knows. We were fortunate enough to share ideas with him. It's not me only, my students as well. I must call that student brigade. All were benefited by his presence, his wisdom. Actually, he stood before our eyes, an epitome of wisdom, good teacher, orator, and definitely a paternal figure. So I have a lot to share with our audience today. But we all know these ideas, these feelings are common, almost common with all of us. So I would like to say that we must hope that we shall follow his aim, his mission, and should remain true to his special contribution towards philosophical discussions based on analysis and comparative ideas. So actually, we miss you, definitely. But at the same time, we can't miss you. Your enthusiasm, your caring attitude, your dedication towards knowledge of our own Indian system and Western as well. These are actually something which cannot be missed. Always very, very much present before our eyes. Sir, pranam. Pranam, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam. Thanks a lot. Now, I will invite Dr. Tamoghna Sarkar, Jadavpur University. Dr. Sarkar, please.
Yes. Uh, I first met Professor Shaw as an undergraduate student of Presidency College, and Srimati was my teacher also. It was way back in the year 2000 or 2001. And in the conversation after this lecture, he first learned me how to read philosophy, how to study it, and study philosophy uh, as a study with problems. First, you should locate the problem and then study. It was an eye opener for me as the method of learning philosophy, problem-based study. Then after I after my graduation, I was in touch with him through email, mainly through email because there was no mobile then. I visited him every year at the Ramakrishna Mission Gold Park whenever he came to India. And from 2000, 2001 to 2019, pre-COVID period, I was every year when he came, I visited him and we studied together. We studied various papers of him uh, together at the reception of Ramakrishna Mission Gold Park. And then after 2019, I somehow lost touch with him. It was my misfortune, and it was mainly due to some disruptions in my personal life that I could not be in complete touch with him. It is my misfortune that I could not become a full-blown student of Professor Shaw. After 2019, I was not too much in touch with him. I was I have some conversations with him through email, but I could not meet him personally after 2009. Before that, we conducted 3 seminars at the Mahabodhi Society, Kolkata, in 2012, 14, 3 years. And those seminars were personally or almost single-handedly funded by him. It was his personal finance only for the spreading of Indian for the knowledge and Indian philosophy. He funded those seminars, and he also learned us how to conduct a seminar with a very small amount, with a very meager fund. And it was also an eye-opener for me that that uh, uh, the seminar is only to disseminate knowledge, to spread knowledge, to show your passion about the subject. It is not about some extravaganza, or it is not about some external factors. So if you are passionate, if you want to disseminate knowledge, if you love your subject, you can arrange a seminar in whatever way. I took him to the Krishnanagar Government College. I was then posted in Krishnanagar Government College in 2011 in an international seminar, and he lived there in Krishnanagar for 2 nights and attended the whole seminar. The whole seminar after his lecture, he attended the whole seminar and actively participated in that seminar. As I mentioned, I studied some of his papers with him, and I am fortunate enough to contribute a paper in his felicitation volume named Comparative Philosophy and Jail Saw. So, and that paper also was in consultation with him. I was in touch with him, in consultation with him, while I was writing that paper. And as we know that he was a pioneer in comparative philosophy, he was a pioneer uh, in the study of Indian philosophy because he published paper on Indian philosophy in the journals which were known for publishing exclusively Western philosophy papers, Western philosophical papers. So in those journals also, he had published. He was one of the pioneers to publish papers of Indian philosophy in those journals. So he was a towering figure, and my takeaway or my lesson from him, but what Professor Neeti has said also, that his life was a lesson. His life was a lesson uh, for us, for the people, for the academicians who are in the field of philosophy. Uh, his passion and dedication for Indian philosophy was simply unmatchable, and he overlooked his deteriorating health conditions only for the passion for a subject. And he always told me that if you are passionate and dedicated, then your health and also your wealth, uh, these do not matter much. And he also taught me that as an academician, we should, not only should, we must prioritize study over personal engagements. We all have personal engagements, but as academician, we must prioritize. We must prioritize study over any personal matter. This was my lesson for him. This was my lesson from him. So I extend my pranam and my gratitude to him. Uh, uh, Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Sarkar. Now I will invite Rhyddhi Chakraborty.
Hello, namaskar, everyone. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Thank you. Right. So I didn't expect to speak. I just joined because my friend sent me the link, and I thought, okay, so if I get a chance, then I can speak. I see Srimati ma'am here, and I heard you talk and seeing you after a long time. The moment I heard the news, your thought came in my mind actually. So, and as my friend Dr. Tamoghna Sarkar mentioned, so we got to know Professor Jail Shaw from the Presidency, that time it was Presidency College, and from our seminar there around, I think 2000, 2000, that time. Now, I was in touch with him through email. Then, whenever he visited Kolkata, so we were, I used to meet him in the Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture there. So from 2000 to 2005, so I was in constant touch with him. Now I changed my location, so I went to study in BHU, then I went to study in Kharagpur, then I moved to London, but that actually didn't make me to lose my touch with him. So even when I am in London, he used to call me sometimes and say that, how are you doing? And that voice and that call, definitely I'm going to miss. Now, it's very hard to talk about him because I still feel that he's around and he's there, and I would receive that call, very soon from him. So, in my discussion with him is mainly actually centered around different topics. So I changed my stream, say, from religion to applied philosophy. And so when we started, he said that you need to study comparative philosophy. And like a naughty student, I used to say, sir, I'm not learning this and I'm not interested in comparative philosophy. But if you tell me about applied philosophy, applied ethics, I'm happy to learn and all. So we started discussing about different other topics, and what he taught me is about the critical thinking skills. That is very important. The argumentation skills, which is very important, and how to make the philosophy very, very easy for us, and to to make it a part of each and every discussion as well. So when I used to meet him in the Ramakrishna Mission, Institute of Culture there in Kolkata, so I still remember. So we used to talk about women empowerment, the culture in different places, the socio-economic conditions. But in the midst of it, again, our the critical thinking skills were coming up, and the discussions were centered around that how to develop the argumentation. The my first actually lesson from him in a way is that, so I was doing MPhil that time, and my specialization was on environmental ethics, and my supervisor that time actually was unwell and couldn't give me enough time for supervision for a particular period, for a particular span of time. And I had a conference that time, so I went to sir and said, sir, I'm feeling a bit of helpless. I'm working on a paper on environmental ethics, from a comparative religion perspective. Do you have time to just listen to my paper and tell me that if I'm in the right direction or not? The greatness of him, given he was very busy, he was visiting Kolkata that time for a very short period and all, but he actually gave me that time. So he listened and he sat there, he listened my whole paper, and then he gave his insights, expertise, expert comments and insights on that. And that helped me to improve my confidence and present the paper, with that confidence as well. So my learnings from him on the other side is that his dedication, his discipline, a commitment to to study philosophy, definitely on this. The other thing is a very human thing, is that to give the due credit and acknowledgement to each and every person. So that's another thing. He could make all of us actually feel special. So all of us are here today is because of him, because he is the connecting link. I refer to him as is because I still feel that he's around. So, and the time utilization. So when I used to say, sir, I don't want to study now or anything. So he used to say, okay, Rhyddhi, you need to utilize the time properly. I understand you have this, you have that, but you have to prioritize the work. So all these life skills, all these life lessons, and he has been a great mentor to me since 2000, I would say. And on a funnier note, what I could say is that, I never crossed my boundary in saying, okay, say, I used to refer to him as sir always and his wife as madam always. I still do. And if his wife actually, so madam is in my Facebook friend list. So if he got to know that madam is, we are having a long chat, a conversation with madam, he used to say, why can't Rhyddhi contact me? Why is she just chatting with you all the time? So, and then I would get a, chat from madam and say, Rhyddhi, can you contact her and just, say about that, what you're doing now and all. So when I moved to the UK and I started working in the academic sector here as well, so I updated him on that about my information, and he was very pleased, like a family member on that. And he has been a great mentor, and I learned how to write articles from him, and I've mentioned that to him. I still do have that email, and we talk about it later on. But I feel very privileged that I got to. It's not just studying philosophy, but to learn how to write the articles on philosophy as well. So that is my, I would say, one of my biggest positions in my life. And thank you.
Thank you, Rhyddhi. Wonderful experience you just shared. Thank you. Now I will request Shubhashish Chakraborty. Mr. Chakraborty, am I audible to you? Anybody else? Anyone wants to share something? So we will conclude the session over here. Before concluding the session,
hello, madam.
Yes.
My name is Patralekha Mitra. I am associate professor of philosophy in South Calcutta Girls College.
Is it possible to switch on the video? Thank you.
Am I visible, madam?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So I was the news. I heard the news today morning, just only after 10 days of passing my beloved sir, and it was just heartbreaking to me. Even now, I can't believe this because sir used to call me and say, "Dear dedicated soul," and mail me like this. Many times he visited my college and he invited me one of the international conference at Victoria University in Wellington in 2015, and I have visited there with one of my departmental fellow colleagues. It was a lifetime experience for me. A seminar, I have presented a paper also in the seminar. I met there distinguished professors in philosophy, such as Professor Purushottam Bilimoria, Professor Anand Vaidya, and one of the research fellow of Professor Bilimoria, Paulette Walker. And after that, I keep in touch with all of them, and they also visited my college. It was a great honor for me. And during my 10 days of visit in Wellington, it is a lifetime experience for me that I will cherish till of my end. Professor Shaw was just like a father figure to me. Actually, he is contemporary to my father. He was just 3 years junior of my father. My father was also a professor of Sanskrit and he was a principal in Sanskrit college. So he was just like a father figure to me. He was my mentor. He visited my college several times and presented me lot of his books and papers. I brought from New Zealand, from Wellington, from his department, a lot of books and journals that he gifted me. And I also remember and share my deep condolence to Shipra Madam, Natali, and beloved Maya. I know Shipra Madam is a cancer survivor for a long years, but this is very unfortunate that Sir has left them alone. May his soul rest in peace, and I share my deep condolence for his family and friends. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, madam. So, we will conclude the session. Before concluding the session, I just express my heartfelt gratitude to all of our dignitaries, whoever shared their experiences on behalf of academy, and they have given such a nice time and to enable us to make the journey possible in loving memory of Professor Shaw, our that torchbearer, who each and every moment encouraged us how to go ahead and what's our future program, what to do. He was the only person who encouraged, motivated repeatedly to start this journey, to start this academy in 2022. For his encouragement, we started this kind of webinar. So, now it was in May. So, and he just encouraged different way. So many sharings on my personal behalf and on behalf of my academy, that unlimited. And each and every moment he used to call me, and still now in my ears I can remember that his voice, just hello Gargi. Each and every moment I feel it. So he will always remain alive in our thoughts, and his philosophy, that comparative philosophy, how did he bridge the um, that east and west, between east and west, that's unparalleled. His dedication each and every moment, that Patralekha madam also just shared her experience, that dedicated soul. He used to address each and every one, dear
Yes.
dedicated soul. Yes, that's unbelievable. So,
And he used another terminology also. You are second to none. You
yes,
are second to none.
yes, that's very true. So, what to share, what not to share. And
And
he,
another term I also remember, he told superior soul.
yes, that's very true. And one more thing, I just want to tell that he was so fond of, so affectionate to each and everyone, that last time when he visited Kolkata, he visited my place and he visited my father. My father was his classmate. I couldn't disclose this fact to my father, that he is no more. It's so shocking and pathetic to me. So this is the, so he will always remain in our thought and our journey of academy. Now I I will just request our CEO, Mr. Ganesh Modak, to say few words and complete the program. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, Thank you all for coming today to show your love and support. Your presence here is a demonstration that how much Professor Shaw was loved and how greatly he will be missed. There is nothing to say. I just remember his word. He always used to say, Modak, তোমরা অনেক ভালো কাজ করছো, তোমরা এই একাডেমিতে অনেক মানুষকে সাপোর্ট দিচ্ছ, এবং এই একাডেমি একদিন অনেক বড় লেভেল হবে, সারা বিশ্বে নাম করবে, সারা ওয়ার্ল্ডে এর একটা আলাদা নাম হবে, এটা আমার বিশ্বাস এবং আমি আশীর্বাদ করি। হয়তো আমি সেদিন থাকবো না, এই কথাটা লাস্ট কিছুদিন ধরে উনি বলে গেছেন যে আমি হয়তো দেখতে পারবো না, কিন্তু আমি জানি তোমরা অনেক বড় কাজ করছো। ফার্স্ট অফ অল, এই একাডেমি স্টার্ট করার সময় আমরা ভেবে পাচ্ছিলাম না যে একাডেমিটা কিভাবে আমরা একটা বড় স্কেলে নিয়ে যাব। ওনার সঙ্গে পরিচয় আমার হওয়ার পরে ওনার সঙ্গে সবকিছু শেয়ার করেছি। সেই সময় একাডেমি আমাদের সেই জায়গায় ছিল না, এবং কমপ্লিট একটা সাপোর্ট এবং অলওয়েজ তার যে ইন্সপিরেশন, he used to say carry on, তোমরা আমাদের কালচারের ব্যানার তুলে ধরছো সারা বিশ্বের জন্য। এবং যখন যেমন পরিস্থিতি আসতো অলওয়েজ একটা সাহায্যের হাত, ছোট থেকে বড় জিনিস। সব থেকে অবাক বিষয়, ওনার সঙ্গে কথা বলতে গিয়ে কখনো ফিল হয়নি যে উনি নিউজিল্যান্ডে বসে আমাদের যে কোনো ছোট ছোট বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে উনি এত এক্সাইটেড হতো এবং এতটা অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করতো সব বিষয়ে। আজকে আমরা যেখানে পৌঁছেছি, মোদক ট্রেনার একাডেমি যে স্কেলে পৌঁছেছে, সেটা তার একটা বড় টেস্টিমনি। এবং ওনাকে যখন অ্যাডভাইজারি বোর্ড মেম্বার করা হলো, আমি জাস্ট একবার শো করছি, আই এম শোয়িং আওয়ার ওয়েবসাইট। মোদক ট্রেনার একাডেমি, দিস স্পেস। এটা যখন তাকে দেখানো হলো, পাঠানো হলো, খুব খুশি ওনার ছবি দেখে। তো there is lot of memories we have, so I have nothing to say. উনি কি লেভেলে আমাদেরকে সাপোর্ট দিয়েছে, এবং শুধু আমাদের নয়, এমন কেউ নেই যে প্রফেসর শয়ের সঙ্গে মিট করেছেন তার কাছ থেকে ইন্সপিরেশন পাইনি। এই সংখ্যাটা খুবই কম। তো যাক, আজকে সময় আমাদের অনেকটা হয়েছে। দিস ইজ টাইম টু কমপ্লিট দ্য সেশন। ওকে, গার্গি ম্যাম আরেকবার নীরবতা পালন করে কমপ্লিট করবেন নাকি?
হ্যালো ম্যাডাম,
Yes, please tell.
একটা ছোট কবিতা কি বলতে পারি স্যারের
নিশ্চয়ই,
জন্য?
নিশ্চয়ই, একদম একদম sure.
জাস্ট এ মিনিট।
স্যার দার্শনিক ছিলেন,
start.
কিন্তু স্যারের সাহিত্য চর্চাও ছিল।
ম্যাডাম ভিডিওটা
হ্যাঁ, বলছি স্যার দার্শনিক ছিলেন, কিন্তু স্যারের কাব্য সাহিত্য বিষয়েও কিন্তু অগাধ জ্ঞান ছিল। তাই আমি একটা রবীন্দ্রনাথকে আশ্রয় করেই স্যারকে একটু প্রণাম জানাচ্ছি। আজিকে হয়েছে শান্তি, জীবনের ভুল ভ্রান্তি সব গেছে চুকে, রাত্রি দিন ধুক ধুক তরঙ্গিত দুঃখ সুখ থামি আছে বুকে, যত কিছু ভালো মন্দ, যত কিছু দ্বিধা দ্বন্দ্ব, কিছু আর নাই। বলো শান্তি, বলো শান্তি, দেহ সাথে সব ক্লান্তি হয়ে যাক ছাই। গুঞ্জরি করুণ তান, ধীরে ধীরে করো গান, বসিয়া শিয়রে। যদি কোথা থাকে লেশ, জীবন স্বপ্নের শেষ, তাও যাক মোরে। তুলিয়া অঞ্চল খানি, মুখ পরে দাও টানি, ঢেকে দাও দেহ। করুণ মরণ যথা, ঢাকিয়াছে সব ব্যথা, সকল সন্দেহ। বিশ্বের আলোক যত, দিক বিদিকে অবিরত যাইতেছে বয়ে, শুধু ওই আঁখি পরে নামে তারা স্নেহ ভরে অন্ধকার হয়ে। জগতের তন্ত্রী রাজি, দিনে উচ্চে উঠে বাজি, রাত্রে চুপে চুপে। যে শব্দ তাহার পরে চুম্বনের মতো পরে নীরবতা রূপে। মিছে আনিয়াছ আজি বসন্ত কুসুম রাজি, দিতে উপহার। নীরবে আকুল চোখে ফেলিতেছ বৃথা শোকে নয়নাশ্রুধার। ছিলে যারা রোষ ভরে, বৃথা এতদিন পরে করিছ মার্জনা। অসীম নিস্তব্ধ দেশে চিররাত্রি পেয়েছে সে অনন্ত সান্ত্বনা। কেন এই আনাগোনা, কেন মিছে দেখাশোনা দুদিনের তরে, কেন বুক ভরা আশা, কেন এত ভালোবাসা অন্তরে অন্তরে। আয়ু যার এতটুক, এত দুঃখ, এত সুখ কেন তার মাঝে। অকস্মাৎ এ সংসারে কে বাঁধিয়া দিল তারে শতলক্ষ কাজে। ওই হ্যারো সীমাহারা গগনেতে গ্রহ তারা, অসংখ্য জগৎ, ওরই মাঝে পরিভ্রান্ত হয়তো সে একা পান্থ খুঁজিতেছে পথ। ওই দূর দূরান্তরে অজ্ঞাত ভুবন পরে কভু কোনোখানে আর কি গো দেখা হবে, আর কি সে কথা কবে, কেহ নাহি জানে। যা হবার তাই হোক, মুছে যাক সর্বশোক সর্বমরীচিকা, নিবে যাক চিরদিন পরিশ্রান্ত পরিক্ষীণ মর্ত জন্ম শিখা। সব তর্ক হোক শেষ, সব রাগ, সব দেশ, সকল বালাই। বলো শান্তি, বলো শান্তি, দেহ সাথে সব ক্লান্তি পুড়ে হোক ছাই।
থ্যাংক ইউ ম্যাডাম, খুব ভালো লাগলো, অসম্ভব সুন্দর। Now it's time to conclude the session. We are grateful to Professor Shreekala Nair, Dr. Neeti Singh, Dr. Papia Mitra, Professor Ganesh Prasad Das, Professor Srimati Rai, Dr. Tamoghna Sarkar, Professor Patralekha Mitra, Dr. Rhyddhi Chakraborty, Dr. Shruti Naha, and our youngest trainer of Modak Trainer Academy, Pritili Modak, and all of our participants, all of our academicians, scholars, audience. Without your support, this program was unable to carry forward. So we just convey our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to each and every one, and moreover our advisory board member, Professor Manotosh Dasgupta sir. Each and every moment he is guiding us, and whatever we are just asking, whatever we are just telling, he is ready to give. So flexible personality, so nice personality, though without whom it's not possible to carry forward a journey. So thank you everyone.